I have the yes, just 1 minute. All right, good deal. All right. 1 second here. So I would go to the. Can you see my screen still or no? Can you see my screen? Hello? Okay. Um, so to get started in tech, there's quite a number of things that you can do. Um, it's first for us to have a game plan. The only way for us to do that um, is to remember that if we fail to plan, then we have already inadvertently planned to fail. So the plan serves as a guide. It provides us with our strategy. So you can have whether it's your pathway, but you understand that the other side of the plan is your pathway to success. Um, so we start out with our goal, or so we do have SMART goals, which we will have. We would, you know, pick one of the career pathways within tech because the tech is a broad space. We're going to, pick, for example, maybe we say we want to look at one of the technologies and then the roles. Say something like, in my case, maybe project management. And then within project management, maybe I want to be looking at only IT projects or only construction projects or something about consulting projects. So in each one, you can go ahead and uh, numerate it, if you will. So it's good to identify that career path and really hone in on what the capabilities within that career path is. Then the next thing you would do is to build a foundational skill set. So a lot of people need to remember that the skill set is a mix of your technical skills as well as your power skills or people skills. Another one you need to know is once you have a healthy mix of that, you need to have your hands dirty, hands on projects. So you're going to have a need to do hands on, for example, that will actually layer you and provide you with your staying power because you already have what it takes to actually be successful in the sphere. Then you're going to open yourself up for a lot of learning as you go because there's always going to be an evolution, right? Before they call it transformation, but the things that we have a dynamic environment, so change is constant and will continue to happen. So your ability to keep up with that would keep you stand you apart and keep you ahead of any of the transitions or curves that will happen. um, so the tech industry is broad and diverse, so always remember that. So whether you're working in consulting, or business management, whether you're working in e-commerce or whether you're in healthcare or whether you're in IT or whether you're in construction, whether you're in hospitality or fast-moving consumer goods, there's a lot of sectors that you can have, and um, each one is actually being affected by technology. It's a positive thing because it also creates net new jobs, so more jobs than than we have, technologies or technicians to actually fill. Some of the benefits that you would achieve by doing that, you would have flexibility. Remember that. So you hear flex hours or flex time. That provides you with the opportunity to work remotely or maybe a hybrid option. You know, that way you can always use your time wisely to do something else. So you have a lot of that baked in. Another one is your work-life balance. So work life is, remember, there's a life outside of work. So we need to make sure that, you know, the work is there, as well as our life. So private life, so family, community, and it actually helps to give balance and meaning to what we do as individuals. We will be able to put in our best work only when we are able to find that or strike that balance. So some people call it work life strategy. It's also the same thing. Um, the whole essence is to remember that you need to recharge. So you need to recharge. A positive work culture or work environment. So there's a lot of perks that comes with it. So whether it's the complimentary days off or unlimited PTO, um, you know, it could also be one where they do have like, um, virtual happy hours, or they could have virtual lunch and learn. There's there's a lot of things um, to make your life really meaningful, or while you're working, or positive while you're within the job. The last but not the least is that career growth and development. Technologies will continue to evolve, and the skills requirements will also continue to evolve as well. Right now there is that buzz about Gen AI, but this has been going on since I believe 20. This has been going on since 2016. Uh, this has been going on since 2016, 2018 timeframe. And then, but now it's in the forefront, especially after the GPT was released. I believe last year, yes, early last year, or 2022 December. So that makes a whole lot of sense. So in identifying your chosen career path, that takes it one step, because you know everything that we have is an idea or a thought, and then that thought we break it into decisions and actions. So we start out with the career of choice. There's a lot of pretty much personas or roles that you can have within IT. You could be a business analyst, you could be a product owner, you could be a scrum master, for example. You could be a quality assurance tester, or QA engineer, we call it. You could be part of software development. You could be involved in data science, which is just crunching the numbers and trying to make sense, or decision support, make sense of forecasting. You could be a cyber analyst or cybersecurity specialist, security operations specialist. You could be a user experience designer, which just talks about how humans and computers interact. So there's a ton of roles that you can have within IT, and this is just this is just a snippet. There's a lot of roles, right? You could be the solution administrator. There's a lot of things you can be, but understand that each one is an analyst first and foremost, because we all need to be on the same page with our customer. We need to have an alignment or synergy between what our customer says and what we deliver. So we need to all be on the same page. So consider your interests and strengths. Play to your strength. A lot of times, when we plan, or once we try to do measurements, what we end up doing is we end up going ahead to look at only the areas of um, our shortfall, or where we are actually failing, so that we can improve on that aspect, like, which is fine. Maybe in education, that's worked helpful. But the truth is that if you remember Clifton's strengths, you need to actually amplify that strength. So if you're passionate about something, really really focus on it, because that way, if you amplify that, it will actually detract from your weakness. So if you can, that's your strengths, right? Let it be an opportunity for you. So play to that strength, and then you will find maximum success in it, because now, like they say, a lot of people, when when they are just working, especially in an area where they're not passionate about, what they end up doing is they dread Mondays. But if you're really, doing your best work, or doing what you love or you're passionate about, like every day of the week, no matter the day it is, on a Monday, in fact, you're the first to even be there, doing that work, because you breathe it. Your life is centered around it. You evangelize it, or that's the whole essence. You're an ambassador, of that particular skill set, or of that particular technology area. So remember that, especially once you are doing that, play to your strengths, because so if you do that, there's a lot um, that you would achieve, or you can achieve with doing that. Another one is taking a look at the in demand skill set, because that's part of your planning, and your when you're trying to make those selections. Forbes provided a list of them. These are some of them. So we have like data analysis, we have project management, we have user experience or user interface design. Just means, how do you look at how humans and computers interact. So the user interfaces. So data analysis, we're looking at that the numbers. So making sense of your data drove, or historical data you have. So you want to use it to forecast your future outcomes, and then make better informed decisions, or prepare for that. So project management, you're looking at project and products, how to manage the delivery or release of that within customers engagement. uh, you're looking at digital marketing. It's also big. Digital marketing, some of these skill sets were not really um, there a couple of years ago, but I believe with the advent of maybe 2015 or 20, within 2013, or 2010ish, many of these started kind of like coming to the fore. And then a lot of people actually have even gone further, because now they have digital content creator and a lot of all of that buzz. It's a lot too. And then you see with the digital marketing, the influencer space has actually also kind of like uh, carved out from there, and continues to grow. Um, there's also artificial intelligence, so especially now with the Gen AI component of it, but the whole understanding of how to look at the numbers behind that, because you're setting those algorithms, just means you're setting a filter criteria for looking at data from a particular point in time, and trying to look at how you can actually project what if scenarios in a larger number. Then leadership, each one of us is making decisions. So you're a leadership, you don't necessarily have to have a leadership title, or be called the leader, but know when to step up in your team. Remember that. That's very helpful. What you need to do is to focus or concentrate on, am I, whether people are there or not, am I doing my best? Doing am I experiencing or giving out more than is required? Am I doing my best, or living my best life? So you can come in there, take ownership of and be accountable for a project, or in your team, right? Making sure that you're living for you're placing yourself and your character. It builds character. So you are now showing that uh, whether your manager is there or not, you're doing the task. Or if there's a need for extra work, you're coming in, showing. Or even the ones that you don't know, you're putting yourself out there, that you're willing to even learn it. That gives you what we call, others want to emulate you. That puts you out there for the opportunities for growth, opportunities for learning, and then you're able to rally people around you. People will always call you that you are the one to go do this. People would always volunteer you, because they know what you're capable of, and then they believe that time and again, you will always deliver. Um, Web development. So software development is a team sport. So it will help you or show you things like how to work alongside others, um, to be able to collaborate and communicate to deliver value to customers. And then sales, everything we do, definitely, the act of selling is big. Selling ensures that product get to customers hands, and then we will always continue to get profit, especially for businesses, and then the businesses continuity is validated from selling the goods and services. Another another mix of that, if you take a look with what we have, you can see data analytics, you can see digital marketing. So the team, it's a reoccurring team. You see machine learning and Gen AI, you see blockchains, user experience, robot process automation. So automation is not going anywhere, or technology is not going anywhere. It's been here for ages. It's just constant improvement or constant evolution, that has been bringing about newness or new ideas. So data science, cloud computing, everything we have is in the cloud. We just access it from user interface or mobile devices or hardwares, and then we use it as we need it, or when we need it, we call for it. But the greatest gift is you and I, because we are people, and with people we think, and in our ability to think, there's a lot that we can do, and we continue to do to deliver value to everyone around us, and then change our world. um, we also have the World Economic Forum. You can see it talks more of these power skills in the form of, uh, it talks of these technical skill sets in the form of power skills, because the power skills, you cannot take it away. That is our people skills, our creative thinking, our ability to, like they say, think outside the box. The computers don't work except we actually um, set them up for success. So you have to, put, whether it lines of code, or you have to put the conditions there, or whatever have you not. Analysis, each one of us is definitely doing a what if, or doing a decision. We You could have been somewhere else today, but you chose to be here. So you're always analyzing, you're always making decisions. Remember, it's always a thought first, and then decisions and actions. So based on that decision, the whichever one you take, you then go ahead and apply whatever actions that is needed to achieve it. So that's something we do regularly. Then technology literacy, there's new and emerging technologies. All we need to do is to keep up with it. So lifelong learning, it's something you cannot live without, right? Lifelong learning, because the technology is like a facade. So these things have been there before. They just pretty much repackage it, or it will make a comeback. So pretty much, I remember back in the day, when everyone was talking about, for example, the computers, that it would die away, or that it would not. But see here, we are here. Or is it when they had the flip phones, or the very big phones of back in the day? But now we have it, where they said that you could even have internet on your phone, or they were using Opera Mini browsers. But now each one has, a working computer, like you have, whether it's an iPhone, or you have your Android. There are different components. Even the laptop. Before it was a desktop, now it turned to palm tops and tablets, and on the go, just for the more screen space. And then you still have the thin frame, mobile computers, and your laptops that you can move around with, and ultra slim. And there's a lot of changes. We need to remember that we are the people at the forefront of making all of this happen, right? Build resilience, build flexibility and agility. Change is going to be constant. Change will always be happening, but it's your ability to adapt, right? They say inspect and adapt. It's your ability to adapt to it. So you would always, it's just like, when you experience a loss, whether it's a loss of job or a loss of loved one, yes, you're definitely going to grieve it, right? Because it's a change, but slowly and surely, and then with community, right? With your faith, with your community, you will build that religion. You'll be able to respond. In some cases, it's something that you go ahead and do immediately. It's something that slowly you're beginning to adjust to it. And then big picture thinking, or we call it system thinking. So a holistic view or 360 degrees view of of the the whole, whether it's be your career or the whole IT system. It's very helpful. And then AI and big data. I mean, data that will continue to be created by us, whether it's videos or whether it's presentations, just like this. We will always, continue to create data, which is all it is data points that can be actually, aggregated to be able to provide, valuable outcome or insights to our customers. And then talent management, there would always be a need to, whether it's apply, talent or skill. So reskill, upskill, especially with the talent movement now. Um, Ever since COVID, there has been a push for, talent to be the best version of themselves, understanding that now they are part and parcel or owners of these organizations. So they have to step up the plate, not just pretty much uh, um, employees alone, where they just come in and then get paid. They have to be vested in it. So the only way to do that or create that sense of ownership and pride is to provide a great employee experience, employees experience. Because remember, your employee is your first line of defense. For where, if you get it right, then they are able to actually ensure that you have a healthy pipeline of of new employees that are about to get in, or they would be able to have your community want to also brag about you being the number one employer or top notch employer to work for within your varied industries. And then the customer is king. So stakeholder is not just your employees alone, but the whole community. So whether it's your vendors, whether it's your suppliers, whether it's your stakeholders, shareholders, whether it's the organizational leaders or the shop floor employees, a lot, everyone, because each one actually provides a different perspective to what to expect. Um, there is this workforce skill forecast. It's a research by ServiceNow and Pearson. There's going to be a lot of shift, especially with the disruptions coming with Gen AI. So they're looking at, in the next 5 years alone, there would be an addition of over 1 million workers within the US alone. So that is the projected need for workers, and this is just the US market. There's globally, there would be a lot of change there globally. So there is the forecast that each one of us should embrace AI, and it's so true. So there's a lot of AI courses that are out there that gives us that our human edge. So creative thinking, you're able to focus on it, whether you're doing software system development, computer and information managers, whether you're a programmer, data analyst, data engineer. There's a lot of buzz around AI, and there are a lot of courses that will help you. And it is our soft or power skills. They call it prompt engineering, but it's nothing but just how to refine text, that you're able to put, just posing questions to just imagine using your Google, for example. You're asking questions and you're beginning to or continuously refining that question. That's what prompt engineering is really all about, right? To make it contextual awareness. That's what we call it. So you're looking at the context there. So like keywords, pretty much before now. So you're making sure that those keywords are actually maybe in a full phrase or time frame, so that the system can go ahead and say, okay, this is what you are trying to say, or this is what in natural terms or natural language understanding or natural language processing we call, you are now able to deliver better. So for example, you could say, oh, hey Google, can you tell me what the weather is like for today in Houston? You're giving it all the context or data points for it to kind of like make an inference, right? Make a proper analysis, or so that it can present the best outcome. So if you notice, it will say, here is what here is what I have, and this is what you know I've been able to glean through. It gives you with your the data sources, so that way you're better poised to get the right information and make the right informed decision at that time. um, Building a solid foundation will help you um, in the career journeys, for a fact, especially when you're trying to break into tech. To succeed in the tech space, you're going to need to develop a strong foundation skill set. So a mix of your technical skill set, whether it's the data science or what have you not, and then your soft skills, your people skills, that is your power skills. So whether it's communication, collaboration, critical thinking, problem solving, your people skills, you're going to have a healthy mix of it. It's very important. Then you're going to be able to enroll in educational courses. Like I said, lifelong learning. There's a lot of them out there. Like in my own case, I always focus on the ServiceNow technology. There is Microsoft. They have that one, whether it's Azure, Power BI. There's a lot of them, and they provide a lot of fantastic on-demand training. Some of them are for free. There's you know AWS, the Amazon one, it's all there. There's Salesforce, Coursera has them there. Udemy, LinkedIn Learning, they're all in there. Some of these certifications you can go out there and look for, like ITIL or Information Technology Infrastructure Library, talking about how enterprise services are being delivered. Agile. So right now, there's a transition which has been going on for a while, um, to um, agile delivery, or hybrid approach. So not just the traditional project management or the waterfall. So there's a mix of it, or synergy between the two. So they have that hybrid. So meaning they have the traditional project as well as an agile face to it, to get the best of both worlds. You could also be, certified in product ownership. It just means that you understand the product so well that you can, guide or shepherd, organizations to it. So there's the healthy dose of it. You could be the business analyst, right? Like, you want to make sure that, organizations are making sense of their data, or the data that they own. And then the security, there's a lot of security posture. You could go there and then be good at it. The manager as well as the auditor, and then the project manager, where you can manage resources, manage timelines, manage the delivery, as well as the scrum master. You can master scrum, understand agile, and then deliver agile seamlessly. um, the technical skills, we have a couple of them are those programming ones, whether you're looking at Java, JavaScript, Python, PowerShell, Ruby, Kubernetes or K8, HTML, talking about those web pages, and then the styling. There's a lot you can do: data science, business analysis, marketing, project management. Your soft skills, your people skills, don't never forget that. That's your power skill, Your that makes us uniquely human. Communication, teamwork, problem solving, stress management. You should be able to know how to do that. Critical thinking and making decisions. Leadership, conflict management. There's a lot of emotional intelligence, not just IQ. You should be emotionally aware, so especially when you notice a charged environment. How do you respond? How do you respond? Um, so you're going to gain experience. In order to gain experience, you want to volunteer on open source projects. So, for example, when you learn a skill, you must practice it. I remember the speaker once we were coming in, he reminded us from our day one of this engagement or this program. Um, there has been a lot of speakers coming even before me, and they have delivered s- exceptionally on their given topics. And the truth is that any new subject, if you don't start to apply it almost immediately, you lose sight or you lose focus of it. And that's the truth. And the human mind, like they say, out of sight is out of mind. And the point is that is so true that you need to practice. Like I say, practice also makes perfect. If you're not using it, the skill set becomes dormant. So if you're not practicing it, you don't get any value from it, and you lose it with time. Because without constant, application, you're losing it gradually. You're losing it gradually. So volunteer on projects. So some of the projects you get paid, some of the projects you don't, but you get the experience you need. You get the experience you need. Sometimes you can also job shadow, like your mentor or an expert in the industry. Go take a look and see what they have, or go ask them for some guidance. They would provide you with some tips and tricks, their own learnings and their own journeys. Sometimes they give you some courses to go take a look and do. Some of them will give you micro certifications once you complete those courses, and that's really all you need. Projects, you can always get some of them. They provide you those micro sets or badges, and then you learn a new thing, and then you can apply it um, without even without knowing it. When you need to actually recall it, memory, it's already there, it sticks. So when you might not need it, you would now be able to recollect it and then use it to your advantage, because it's one of those skill sets you add that to your resume or your portfolio, so that you become much more strengthened for your next engagement. Network. They say that we are as good as our network is built from our network, and that's the truth. So build your network, create a great networking experience. So go to industry events, in your, especially in your chosen career. Sometimes even you go out to some of these networking events. It might not even be in your chosen career, but the idea is the power of networks. Be able to socialize. you know I'm in this space, I'm doing this. Get out of your comfort zone. No growth in your comfort zone, very important. Definitely subscribe to blogs and newsletters, especially the ones that have to do with your career or chosen path. Yeah, very important. Attend workshops and seminars, conferences. A lot of times you would use those to keep updated with the trends and changes that are happening in the space that you're working. One thing is for certain: with the right skill set, with the right knowledge, you would always land a rewarding and lucrative career in technology. Because if you have your plan set in motion, you know you you, you have done your due diligence. You have searched out the programs that you can enroll in. You already know. You complete that. You network in that industry. Volunteer on projects. The pathway, it's clear. It's clear. The pathway for success is very clear. So these are some of the courses that you can take a look at. Um, This is one of the causes that, if you will, it would take you to um, ServiceNow. So the welcome to ServiceNow course, if you finish it, it actually tests your knowledge. Um, this is one of them. There's quite a lot of them there. The other one is kickstarting your career journeys as well. Um, that provides you with a rise up initiative, understanding what you can offer within that technology space. But there are others too. There are others, but if you take a look, most of them that I have, they have to do with ServiceNow, that ServiceNow technology, just because ServiceNow is the two set of choice, or that I'm actually working within its space, and then growing alongside, and then evangelizing it to everyone that I know within my space. But there's a lot of others, like project management, like customer agile development. So the ITIL framework that I also socialize to as well. But with these, I believe you'll be able to break into tech. Remember, it's a healthy mix of both your power skills or people skills, as well as your technical skill set. But that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Nnaemeka. That's amazing. We are grateful. Please, can we appreciate Mr. Nnaemeka with our emojis, our reactions? Is our custom, please. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you.
thank
Thank
you,
you. Thank
thank you, thank you. All right, Mr. Nnaemeka, I know one of two persons here may have a question. Please, if you have any question, please can you kindly raise your hand? Let me unmute you so that you can ask your question, or you can drop it in the chat box. Anyone raising their hand?
Can check for questions. We're here for questions. Let's see the chat. Oh, thank God. There are no questions, but if we do have questions, I'm here to take them. Like we say, we are all co-learning, co-sharing. Nobody knows it all. What I always would say is, if you don't put yourself out there, you don't get to you don't get the feedback you need, and feedback is a gift, is a food for champions. So if you're out there, you're seeking to know, you get the answers. So the more questions, the more opportunity you get to actually get that feedback that you need for growth and development.
Oh, thank you, sir. But just quickly, sir, let me ask.
Go ahead.
All right, how can someone transit from a career, like for example, somebody in health sector want to transit into tech? Is it really easy to transition of career on how to transit from one career to another, saying that okay, probably tech is not payable now?
Oh, great question. Great
Did you get
question,
me, sir?
Nelson. Yeah, I did. So here's the thing, right? Like I said, there are a lot of technology roles, right? But understand, the first thing
Yeah.
first is that each one of us is an analyst. Like you made a decision to be here, even just to host this seminar, starting from the beginning. So you're always analyzing. It's all about decisions and actions, right? We think of it, or we project it, then we go. And it's the same way. So each company or each organization has an IT department. Like you have
Yeah,
to
true.
have a badge, right? You have to have a software that you use, whether you're in healthcare. So healthcare, for example, they have Epic, amongst others. Scheduling, they have a lot of things. So um, what you really need to focus on is what skill sets are transferable. What do I mean? I mean, you're passionate about something, you want to move from healthcare to IT or transition into tech. So,
Exactly.
which skill sets are you bringing that that it's your, because already you have a foundation that you can move with your healthcare experience, your healthcare knowledge. So now you're going to look for the particular IT space or IT field, right, that you need. You're going to look for that. That's your planning. You're going to plan out that and envision it. Now you're going to look at how that your healthcare field translates to it, because that's where you're passionate about. So because healthcare IT is there, so you're going to gradually now look at that bridges there that moves you from healthcare into IT. You're going to hone in on that. So you look at the road, for example, that's going to walk your way through. One is a product owner. So in healthcare IT, you can look at product ownership. You can look at um, Scrum Master, um, business analyst or data analyst. These are roles that you can look at. You can now look at, because your soft skills is the same thing. It translates, right? You're now going to now look at what technical skills that you need. So like certifications and learning to try to build on what you already have. So if you can do this, um, then all you're going to do now is make adjustment or pivot. So you're going to start to look at volunteering yourself up for, because definitely your healthcare experience in the healthcare field, they might have new projects, or they might have projects in the pipeline. You step up the plate or step up your game, and come in and ask for an opportunity to do that, whether it's lead that initiative or be part of that team, to be able to actually hone that skill set that you have. Very important. So that way, once you do that, you now it's more like you're now solidifying yourself. You're now letting them know that, hey, I'm in healthcare IT now, or I'm trying to make sure that I have a strong footing in the IT space, especially with healthcare. So with that, they can start recommending you even in your organization. You can now be responsible for all their tech projects or tech programs, and then slowly like that you establish yourself as a leader, and then subsequently you might even now change jobs fully to maybe a much more tech or IT organization, even with your healthcare background, because all of that will transition. And then if you're in good luck, you now get the opportunity to work for consulting. That would be consulting. They would really you really learn. You really learn, because they would, whether it's healthcare projects, whether it's aerospace projects, whether it's government projects, you would just keep going, because there will be projects within 90 days. So you would really, really, broaden your skill set and your scope and your network. Yes, you will do that. But does that answer your question in its totality?
Very well, very well. Thank you, sir. We
Oh,
are
thank God.
grateful.
Thank God.
Thank you. Somebody drop a question in the chat box. Is though I feel you should attend to it. The person asks, can he get a data analysis free course online? Of course, yes.
Of course, yes. That's very true. Of course, yes. So, but see what people forget, right?
Yeah,
All of these, a lot of them, like the one I put in the chat, that those service now ones, they are all free.
yeah,
Those courses, all of them, they are all free. These courses, they are all free. So even Google. It's a powerful tool, but a
Yeah.
lot of us we don't use it. It's a powerful tool set. You need to use it, the Google thing, because you are looking for, you can put that query there. It's a question you're posing. Free courses on data, and you use it. Free courses on data analysis. And not just that, let's say, because that one is for on demand or self learning. Because all they will do is have you create an account like you do for your Gmail or Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever, right? But let's say, um, you also want one that it's pretty much taught, just like, LBD Foundation is giving here now, right? Let's say you wanted one like that, you can reach out to them, and then they will tell you they have partners, like I know they do have with Utiva and so many others. So that one they can now, if they do have, an opportunity to provide that with you, they can now, pretty much, give introduce you to those organizations. Even the organizations in themselves, they always have like a monthly scholarship that they do. I think, sometimes the end of the month, or especially close to um, when they have an upcoming session or class, so cohort, they now would add some of that. So, that would be it should be, pretty much a taught session, but they would always have that scholarship opportunity, other than the free ones are on demand learning. Yes, but they are all there. Once you just put the Google, you will see it would narrow it down to give you, the ones, if you want Udemy, Coursera, many of them. There are so many. There are so many. There are so many. Yes.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, lastly, I will just want to ask, probably,
Good.
uh, most of these courses we see online, Coursera, Udemy,
Mhm.
Oxco Africa, and other courses, those some of them are free. But
Okay.
based on the peculiarity of the kind of persons we are working with in LBD, which is
Mhm.
persons
Nelson,
living
you're
with
breaking out.
disability.
Right, right. Okay. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I don't know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
This
you now.
this
Go ahead.
course this courses when they are all right, thank you. So these courses when they are designed by this service provider like Udemy, Coursera, but I feel there
Mhm.
is no inclusiveness for persons living with disability. The way the courses are designed is just designed for persons who doesn't have a physically challenged or who doesn't have a disability. For example, a visually impaired person, how can that person learn from Coursera? Somebody who probably for a very long period of time may be able to do that, having a luxury of time to do that. But people who have hearing impairment, you see that Coursera, I've taken a course in Coursera Prep before now. So there are videos you can watch. So I feel this inclusiveness is not there for persons living with disability. If I don't know if you can throw more light on it, there are areas we can go into to see that persons living with disability, visually impaired, those who have hearing impairment, they can actually take courses from those sites. I don't know if there's anyone like that, sir. I'm just talking regarding inclusiveness for persons living with
Yeah, sure,
disability.
sure, sure. So that's why. So here's the thing. A great question. I do love it, Nelson. They actually, uh, they actually have, right, but the thing is that they would not cover every form of disability. What do I mean? The Some of them, or most of them, already have that as part of their user design. Most of the causes, like you talked about, in other cases where maybe visually impaired, there is there there is what they have for, like in the browser, where you can have it being, read to you, like you get what I mean. So it will go through and just keep reading it to you. So the expectation is you'll be able to use that, in that regard. Others, I know, in the others, they now have like, I believe that there's like a book version, I believe, in some of them. but I cannot speak exactly in its totality. They might not cover everyone, but they should have tailored programs, like you said. Another thing you can do would be, there would be that, they call it like accommodation, that you would actually, while you're signing up, put that, like, even when you're, sending in an application, if they need to, provide accommodations, they will. Each one of them is taking it, like I said, that inclusive thing is really big. So each one is taking it, seriously. Even the, the videos, the presentations, all of that are designed. PowerPoint. There must be, even in the tools, they have it all built in. Whether it's, the shades, or whether it's, the ability for it to, to speak it out. They are all tailored. They are all built in there in the tool. But if you don't find, all of which one covers, for sure, um, go ahead, for sure. The reasonable accommodation. Yeah, they would try to do that, when they can. Um, but the ones they can't, they would, be able to let you know, because if they are not able to, they will let you know, and then they would, politely tell you that, then, that this particular one is not for you, something like that. But they would try to add to the best of their ability. They will try to, because they actually have a department or an office specifically for that. And even in the user experience designs, they all have them there. So the user experience, or the, user interface, they have it all built in. So, like here now, it's part of the, usability ADA, 508 compliance. They have it. It's all built. They have it. That's, in this part of the world. Yeah, they do have them. So most of them are doing that. You just need to let them know, or part of when you're, trying to look at a particular cause, as part of the requirements, you read through, or send an email to their, to their support, something like that.
All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank
But
you.
oh,
Thank
you're welcome. I think Peter was talking. Oh, was that the same question? The one Peter was asking of.
I think he's not clear with the transition, the career transition. I just wanted to allow him unmute himself. Peter, you can ask a question. I
Sure.
don't know
Okay, thank you. Can you
if
hear
you're
me?
not clear with
Yeah, yeah. We, we,
the
we
answer I
can. Peter, go
provided.
ahead.
Okay, about the transition of a career, I have a
Right.
background in accounting, and I also like at the degree level, and I have certification in data analysis, and at the moment, I am currently taking a course in computer networking, cybersecurity, and a touch of data analytics, facilitated by Cisco Technology at Digital Bridge
Awesome.
Institute. Now, um, I have someone around my place, my representative, who wants to sponsor some persons that have a background in STEM for a scholarship overseas. Now, I seek clarification there, but I couldn't. He couldn't, and no one answered me. So I would say, let me consult you over here and
Sure.
know if that should be something I should put my energy on, if my background in accounting and then the certification I have is in line, aligns with courses in STEM that will help me transition from my background to tech as in STEM.
Right. Great question, Peter. Yes, that's the short answer. But STEM is nothing but science, technology, engineering, and math. And then right now, they've even gone ahead to include STEAM: science, technology, engineering, art, and then math. Right. So understanding that you are not going to throw away your background, and you have been so fortunate enough that you're on the right path. What do I mean? You have an accounting background. So most accountants always end up, they like numbers, right? It's no numbers game. So data science, data analytics, right? Business analytics. That's your forte. So it is, you are in the you are there. So
Okay.
if you're in there, all you just need to do is, that's your focus, that's your passion, that's something that you're good at. Go and deliver. Look at an industry where you're able to use that your skill set. A lot of industries that are out there, like you talk about going for the scholarship. Yes, you're going to go in there, you're going to do that program, even if it's the MBA focusing on data, on focusing on analytics, even if it's whatever program it is, so long as you're doing data analytics or data science, right? You're doing any of those, you're able to use it. Look at it, it's all forecast, it's all of using the numbers, try to do what if scenarios. So if you can use those and provide decision, give recommendations. So this is what the data is saying, this is what the data is saying, and this is how we are projected to have XYZ amount of sales. If we do increase this particular product, make sure that we don't lose this particular product off of the shelf, or we don't run out. So that tells you that you have been able to see what the trends look like for last year, and then this year, maybe you put a buffer, maybe 20%, something like that. It tells you, how much quantity of goods you should have, so that they don't run out of it. Especially looking at what has happened before, right? Historical data. So you are able to deliver. What you have is perfectly okay. You transition. That's all it is. You will. You will transition. You will already. You will transition.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You'll
Question
transition.
answered. Thank you.
All right, Peter, you are good, right? Thank you, Mr.
I'm,
Nnaemeka.
I'm
I
good.
know I know we've kept you for long, so
Oh,
thank
thank
you.
God.
But quickly, can we appreciate Mr. Nnaemeka once again with our emojis? Can we just thank him before he bows out?
Thank you,
Please,
everyone.
your
Thank you. Thank you.
emoji, your emojis, keep it coming, please. All right,
Thank
so
you.
please, before we go, let's take a family picture. Everybody, please turn on your camera if you can. If you're in a good, serene environment, please turn on your cameras and let's take a family picture. Sam, are you with me? All right. All right. Mr. Sam, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.